Good evening. We begin with the bombshell arrest by police investigating the sinister disappearance of 4-year-old Gus Lamont.
Hannah Ford joins us live now from Peterborough in the state's mid-north. Hannah, the little boy's grandparent has been charged with firearms offences.
That's right, Will. Josie Murray drove herself here, where she remained for about an hour before being given police bail. However, the firearms charges aren't believed to be linked to the little boy's likely death. The 75-year-old was arrested as police investigating Gus Lamont's disappearance returned to the remote homestead where he was last seen. But this search is very different to the 8 others conducted before. It's the first one since the case was declared a major crime 12 days ago, and police are now focused on finding evidence to support their criminal investigation. They already have a suspect, someone who's close to Gus, but it's not his parents. The Premier says it's a complex investigation.
I know, and I've been briefed by South Australian Police on a number of occasions, just how much effort they're putting into this matter, that it's a complex investigation in a way that doesn't always meet the eye publicly, and I'm absolutely satisfied they're doing everything they can to solve this mystery that breaks our hearts.
There will be more searching tomorrow, likely at another property in the area before police return to Adelaide. Meanwhile, Josie Murray will face court here in Peterborough on those firearms charges on May 6. Rosanna.
All right, thank you, Hannah. Let's turn to a developing story now. Disgruntled nurses and midwives at the Lyell McEwin have voted to walk off the job for 24 hours on Thursday. Grace Wallace joins us live. Grace, they say they've been left with no choice.
Yeah, that's right, Rosanna. They met with their union this morning and chose to choose industrial action starting at 7 a.m. on Thursday morning. They say they hope it wouldn't come to this, but despite months of negotiation, the government's offer on pay and conditions has fallen short. So this means that for 24 hours, the Lyell McEwin will operate on what's essentially night shift staffing levels, and that means fewer nurses on the floor and reduced services.
Calling for community support because we know that we're already struggling to care for the community, and if the government fails to provide nationally competitive wages and conditions, the community can expect to have reduced services moving forward.
The emergency department and ICU will remain fully operational, and essential surgeries will go ahead as planned. Now, this strike does not affect any other public hospital, but the union said if the government can't come to the table with an appropriate offer, further stoppages may be necessary. SA Health says it will have contingency plans in place. Will.
All right, thank you, Grace. The family of a young coward punch victims told 7 News they're appalled their son's alleged attacker is back on the streets.
Beau Brownbill's parents say it's not fair their child's in hospital while the accused teenager is free on bail.
A single blow with a lifetime of consequences, at least for its victim.
While our son is lying in a hospital bed and he's walking the streets, I mean, it doesn't really seem very just and fair.
18-year-old Beau Brownbill was struck outside a nightclub on Hindley Street in the early hours of Saturday morning. He remains in hospital while his alleged attacker, a 17-year-old from Waialanori, has been freed on police bail.
It's just like a slap on the wrist.
We would have hoped that he at least was remanded for a period of time, even if it's up to his trial.
But education advocates say one-punch violence is a larger community issue.
These are problems we can't arrest our way out of. Certainly there has to be consequences.
Beau's parents say they're grateful a member of the public came forward with information that led to an arrest, but they're disappointed the family of the accused haven't reached out with so much as an apology. While the family feels let down by the system, the government assures a review into bail laws is already underway.
We're always open to making sure our laws are fit for purpose and meet community expectations.
There needs to be a deterrent for this type of behaviour. This really shouldn't be, again, happening in today's society.
The accused will front court in April. Jasmine Turlings, 7 News.
A 20-year-old man's been arrested over a machete rampage at the Munno Para McDonald's. An armed gang chased two men into the restaurant's toilets on Saturday, smashing a door as staff scrambled to safety. The offenders took off in a Holden Commodore, which was found dumped nearby. Police are still hunting for another 3 men involved.
A gunman remains on the run tonight after shots were fired into 2 family homes at Magill. The residents caught up in the frightening attack believe it was a case of mistaken identity.
2 homes, 2 families. Innocent lives shaken by a drive-by shooting.
I heard two or three loud bangs and I thought it was a firecracker.
A suspect opened fire on the Kungara Avenue properties just before 3 a.m. Their garage doors riddled with bullets.
We've only moved in 9 months ago, so it's all a bit scary.
Security vision captures a motorbike speeding away in the moments after the shootings. Police rushed to the street, blocking it off and establishing a crime scene.
A bit of a surprise, a bit of a shock, but yeah, it's the state of the world at the moment, isn't it?
Crime scene investigators scoured the area for evidence, finding multiple bullet shells. Those caught up in the shooting have told 7 News they were never the intended target, claiming the attack was a case of mistaken identity.
Pretty scary. I mean, there's heaps of kids around, dogs, families. This is a family street. So I've been here for about 10 years now. This is the first time it's ever happened.
Mitchell Sariovsky, 7 News.
His comeback win stunned the golfing world, but today Live Adelaide champion Anthony Kim was keeping a low profile.
7 News caught up with the American and his family who chose to celebrate at Cleland.
New Live champion Anthony Kim held back tears as he was joined by his wife Emily and daughter Bella.
I heard my wife shouting even when it was going bananas out there.
Today, Kim was making new friends at the Cleland Wildlife Park.
This place is awesome, so Bella had a great time.
His last win came in the 2010 Houston Open before dropping out of professional golf into a decade-long battle with drugs and alcohol. His daughter inspiring his redemption and now resurrection.
For her to be able to run on the green and see her dad isn't a loser was one of the most special moments of my life.
From the Great White Shark, rightfully back in the winner's circle, Michael Phelps, the story of a lifetime, and Kelly Slater, a man who refused to let his lowest chapter be the final one.
What a great story, what a great comeback. I mean, couldn't be more happy for him.
The 40-year-old who was showered in non-alcoholic beer and soda water, saying he also plans to celebrate by watching Frozen.
There's people very important in my life that have helped me get here and have supported me. This is for all of them. I want to enjoy the moment, but also I'll be back on the grind soon.
His overarching message:
don't f***ing quit. That's it. Don't f***ing quit.
Anthony Kim's teammates flew out early in preparation for the next tournament. Instead, the Live champion and his family chose to stay in SA a little longer and see the sights.
I feel like I've been accepted here in Australia and we'll be back soon.
Hayden Nelson, 7 News.
Hayden now joins us live from Kooyonga. And Hayden, there's going to be some changes to accommodate Live Golf there next year.
Yeah, there will be, Will. So Kooyonga is a slightly smaller course than Grange. There will be some changes to accommodate as many fans as possible to squeeze them in here. It's understood one hole will be removed to allow the Live fan village and house to come in and fan zone to come in, with the spare 19th hole being brought in to make 18. As for the rest of the course, this is the big ticket item for fans of the 12th at Grange. It will now become the 15th hole. The 15th hole, which is right behind me, will be the watering hole here at Kooyonga next year. The famous party hole will be the place to be. And it'll be a new look too for after-play concerts. 7 News understands that they will be staged a stone's throw from here at the nearby Lockleys Oval. Rutland Avenue, which runs between the 2 venues, will close to allow fans to move safely between the 2 locations.
There's a little bit of an older demographic, but I'm sure if the hours are done properly and traffic management, I'm sure it'll be all right. Look, it'll be an inconvenience for a day or so, or wherever it is, but it'll be good fun.
This is certainly where negotiations are at the moment. Tickets went on sale for the 2027 Live Golf event today for those who attended this year. Rosanna?
All right, thank you very much, Hayden. Now, the major parties focused on the workforce, both current and into the future, in their campaign cash splashes today. The mammoth AUKUS submarine project continues to float the Premier's boat, while the Libs went back to school.
Cozy up to young people, they're future voters and might also go home tonight and tell mum and dad who they met. The Premier made his second visit in as many days to Osborne, this time with a VIP. Senator Tim Kaine is a key member of the US Congress and happy to take a deep dive into our AUKUS future.
Because it's right for the country, it's right for both our nations, it's right for global security.
Today, he carefully navigated the issue of us trusting Trump.
The president does have a way of sometimes throwing a curveball at you on the messaging standpoint.
Labor's $27 million package was for 1,000 university, trade and upskilling positions. Significant, but a pittance compared to yesterday's $30 billion from Canberra.
The key that has to turn the lock is the investment we make in skills.
Is to see South Australian kids and families being able to see their future.
The Libs promised $12.7 million, doubling the money for non-government school upgrades, a modest investment to modernise facilities.
Often that can mean to a rise in school fees, and in a cost of living crisis, we don't want to see that.
But the Premier refuses to buy into his big vision for the state long term, now overtaking his desire to win an election.
Anyone that takes any vote for granted is almost guaranteed to lose.
Mike Smithson, 7 News.
Well, the official campaign mode starts on Saturday, but that certainly didn't stop the Prime Minister breezing in to fly the flag yesterday.
Mike Smithson joins us in the studio. And Smitho, will we see the new federal opposition leader in town?
Well, Will, in 2 words, highly unlikely. Some might say Angus Taylor is the last person Ashton Hearn needs to steady the ship or calm the farm. Taylor might be a face that voters suddenly recognise, but he's carrying far too much political baggage to be of any help. In fact, probably the exact opposite. Any media conference standing next to Ashton Hearn could draw instant comparisons to Susan Lee, the first female leader of the federal party who he dethroned. Taylor would provide unwanted distraction. Hearn already has a tough battle and is quite capable of running her own ship. When I suggested to the Premier today that he already had the election in the bag, I got that predictable sideways look. He knows the election day is still a long way off and there's no letting up. Rosanna.
All right, thank you very much, Smitho. Accused Bondi terrorist Naveed Akram has fronted court for the first time. Wearing prison greens, the 24-year-old uttered just 2 words in what was largely legal housekeeping.
Has he indicated any intention on what to plead?
Look, at this stage, it's early.
Akram is facing 59 charges, including 15 for murder.
7 News has seen a draft of the Coalition's secret immigration master plan that was supposed to be revealed by Susan Lee, featuring a cap on migration and a blacklist of countries in the grip of extremism. It's overshadowing Angus Taylor's own policy pitches.
Well, thanks, Thatchin.
The new leader, under the watch of the old leader, signals he has ideas.
Our borders have been open to people who hate our way of life.
Angus Taylor speaking as 7 News learns details of a coalition migration policy previous leader Susan Lee had planned to release today. A promise to remove 100,000 visa overstayers and others not granted refugee status. An operation to toughen visa screening. As well, visas refused or withdrawn for breaches of Australian values.
We shouldn't discriminate based on race or religion, but we should based on values.
The Lee policy also banning immigrants from Islamic extremist-controlled regions of 13 countries.
An echo of something from the America First agenda under Trump.
And extending a ban on foreign purchases of housing, tighter limits on foreign students, and a cut to net overseas migration of about 100,000 a year.
Numbers have to be lower, there's no doubt.
One migration expert tells us promises to reduce net overseas migration are a dog whistle to supporters because governments can't control numbers departing Australia. Tim Lester, 7 News.
We're giving you a first look tonight inside the new state-of-the-art Crows headquarters at Thebarton. The complex is fast taking shape, 3 months ahead of schedule.
A world-class facility, a long time in the making.
So the club will move to its home base, its own home base, for the first time in its history since 1991. This facility is the state-of-the-art.
And this is what it's like on the inside, the internal fit-out starting to take shape. As you walk into the front doors, a spacious, light-filled entry and no doubt the piece de resistance for die-hard fans.
This will not be filled in, it'll be glass, it'll be open, but being able to come here and have a coffee or sandwich in the cafe while they're training, and being able to interact with the players, see what's going on in a centrally located location.
Directly opposite the merchandise store and reception, behind that a cafe and club museum documenting the Crows' rich 35-year history. Upstairs administration offices and a function area for 250. Construction of the Oval, the same size as Adelaide Oval, is coming along too.
It is the only one in Australia that will have exactly the same for men and women players within the facility itself.
All set for a much anticipated opening at the end of November, 3 months ahead of schedule. Deanna Williams, 7 News.